Evening, everyone, and welcome to Etcetera with the Woodards. I'm your host for the evening, Craig Woodard Sr., joined by my co-host Deontay Cooley. Deontay, thank you so much for joining me tonight, sir.
Absolutely, man. I'm here, man. We ain't going nowhere. Appreciate the invitation as usual.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we do have a special guest for episode 34. This is episode 34. And I'm going to tell you what, Deontay, you had front row seat at the city council meeting. I told you last week I was jealous of you because of this young lady that we have. She is joining us on the podcast on Etcetera with the Woodards. We have Deanna Chatfield. She is 16 years old. She's a high school student at Collegiate Academy, and she spoke so eloquently at the Erie City Council meeting. Deanna, thank you so much for
Of
joining
course, it's
us.
a lovely chance to join you guys.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. I just wanted to start off. Deontay and I had a really fun time sharing your video. We shared all 5 minutes to some of our viewers so that they could hear exactly what you said, how you spoke. And Deontay, he's just like me. We both had tears in our eyes when we heard you. He, of course, was live, and I know that you amazed him because of his reaction. But when I was watching it as well, I felt the same way he did, and we just jumped at the opportunity of having you on the show. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to come to the Erie City Council meeting and speak up when others have the opportunity and they don't take advantage of it.
Um, I did it because I know I'm not really scared to speak up as a youth of Erie, PA, and I know being in this type of community, a lot of the other people are scared to speak up. A part of the youth community, so it's kind of why I did it because I wanted them to know that it's not just affecting people who were close to cello and people who are older, but it's also affecting the youth community.
What point did you want to make at the city council meeting? You were talking to seven elected officials in front of you. What point did you want to come across and make with them?
That we need change and that it's not going to
Mhm.
come just by them sitting there and saying they're going to do something and they don't, because from what I've seen in my community is I've seen that there really hasn't been any change. And if you're going to talk about how you're going to change our community and then you don't change it, then I feel like you shouldn't be in the position you're in.
When did you hear about what happened with Marcello
I
Woodard?
heard about that morning I woke up, I heard about it. I had went on
Okay.
Facebook and I just seen everything and it broke my heart.
So you can actually give us the kind of the inside scoop. We've been obviously concerned about obviously the community and um, high school students, middle school students, everyone, especially with school starting up, which it's in session right now. Is there a lot of talk around the school at Collegiate Academy about what happened, and are people talking about it?
No, not really. And I feel like
Okay.
a lot of people just don't know because people try not to look on the bad of the community, which is sad because like when you live in a town like Erie, you're used to hearing about gun shootings and everything. So I feel like a lot of them try to push behind it, but I feel like it's important, especially as a youth community, for the law enforcement to try to take action about it.
Right. You're 16 years old, goes to Collegiate Academy. You are in the marching band. You play soccer. You wrestle. You participate in track and field. You are taking classes at community college. So when you graduate, you're going to have a 2 year degree. Like your mom, I know I've talked to her. She's super proud of you. Deontay and I are super proud of you. What plans do you have in the future? And is politics part of your plans?
Um, well, when I was younger, I've always when I was little, I always said I was gonna be the first black lady president and whatnot. And then it turned
Oh
into
wow.
being a lawyer. But I think
Okay.
now I want to become a PT and then go into the military for it.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome. Good dreams, and great goals right there as well. And just remember, if you don't write them on paper, they're just dreams. You got to turn them into goals. Write them on paper and then reach them.
Hmm.
Deontay, tell me about how you felt. You know, front row, damn near, listening to this young lady speak.
Yeah, listen, man. So when you first had came up, because I remember you got up to let somebody sit down, so I wasn't sure if you was gonna speak or not. And then when they came to sit back down, you still stood up. So I'm just like, is she gonna speak or isn't she gonna speak? And then when I seen you go up to the podium, you start speaking. I took my hat off. I usually keep it on, So I took my hat off, and as you start speaking, I'm just like, wow, like you spoke as if like you had a script. You know what I mean? Like you practiced that, and
Hmm.
you studied that, and it moved the entire room. And you spoke so eloquently, and you said things that adults should be saying. So like I was proud to hear you say the things that you had to say. I was shocked because I was not expecting you to come up there and articulate your words. You showed a lot of courage. You showed a lot of bravery. You were calling people out, and then even being able to identify your own concerns. It made me feel good. And the reason why it made me feel good is because I know that I didn't have a conversation with you prior to that, to where none of that was prompted, and you legitimately were like just getting what you had to get off your chest. And it took a lot of courage for you to do that. So, kudos to you. I'm proud of you for doing that. But I mean, Craig did
Yeah.
ask some of the questions that, I would, wanted the answers to as well. But I mean, like, after that moment though, like how did you feel after you had the opportunity to get those things off of your chest? Then you got the round of applause,
Mhm.
and then the follow up, then the news wanted to follow up with you. Like, how did that make you feel as a young lady afterwards?
Um, it made me feel heard. Being a part of the ear community, you don't really hear a lot about youth speaking up, and I feel like once they really noticed me, I feel like that's when my opinion really got heard. Because like being a member of the youth, usually it's all about what the adults say and whatnot, and the youth never really has a say in it. And I'm happy that I was able to advocate for my youth community and speak out for them.
Yeah, I'm glad you got the opportunity to do that as well. And then also, I just seen something on social media. It was they have like a young committee for the school board. Are you involved in that?
No, I did not get picked.
Oh, but that was something that you were interested in.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
They're
hopefully
lost.
they reconsider after hearing what you had to say. I mean, and if they don't
Yeah.
reconsider, maybe you can be like the leader of those individuals who were picked to encourage them to speak up, because like what you had to say, the manner that you presented yourself was mind blowing. Like I was there, I had your back
Yeah.
100%. I was hoping that they did not stop the timer. I mean, stop you when the timer went off, but had they stopped you, I feel like we was gonna come for you to make sure that you got to finish saying what you had to say. Like again, you touched my heart. Like I cried. I cried. I was
Yeah.
sitting there and I'm trying to hold back tears. So I appreciate you for coming up there and saying something. We've been trying to encourage a lot of people to do so. I know it's a very nerve wracking moment. I don't know if that was your first time ever doing it. If it was, and it's a new experience, I know how that can be or how that can feel. And then also having people looking at you now, because it's kind of like, who do you think you're talking to? Don't let anybody intimidate you.
Yep.
Don't let anybody make you feel like
Yep.
you can't ask questions, you can't challenge things. You were very appropriate what you had to say, and don't let anybody make you feel like what you have to say is not important. You are very important, and what you had to say meant a lot. And I hope it woke a lot of people up and got a lot of people to understand that we need to take consideration in what the young people have to say, and we need to treat them as they are important
Mhm.
as we are.
And Deontay, you actually referenced her because you came up right after her and mentioned her, and I knew that that really touched you and meant something. And Deanna, we sent a press release to the news. We had the news down
Hmm.
there because we knew it was going to be a big night. We didn't know that you were going to speak like you did, but it was just perfect timing. And my buddy Philip Ward got to interview you outside when we had our protest as
Hmm.
well. Um, do you know that there's 70,000 views of your interview right now?
No.
It's amazing that you've gone viral. So over 70,000 views of your interview. That's how many people were interested in listening to what you had to say. So you definitely made a huge impact on myself. You've made a huge impact on Deontay and the entire 814. I have to just commend you for that. I told you, you know, you only had 5 minutes at Erie City Council, but this is our show. we can go we can go as long as we want. And I
Mhm.
told you, I said the other things that you might have wanted to say if you had more time at the Erie City Council meeting. What are those things? What kind of message do you have for the people out there?
I feel like I really got what I had to say off my chest.
Yeah.
Um and my main point is that change starts with you. If you are not the one who's going to take initiative to start that change, then why are you in that position? If you're not the one to take initiative and to hold um this parole officer accountable, why are you in that position? I understand that you can only do so much, but you could also try to give Chella's family condolences. I know they're hurting really bad, and I feel like only one of them doing that really shows the rest of their characters, because I feel like personally, if I was up on that podium and if I had the chance to speak out, I would have made a post and I would have advocated for them as well.
Deontay, she sounds like us, man. I mean, we the city council doesn't have direct effect on what they can do, but we go down to these city council meetings so that we can force them to try to use their platform, their resources, and their connections to try to make a change, to try to bring this investigation to a close. And the fact that you spoke up was just mind blowing, and it was absolutely brilliant. Um, Deontay, what else do you want to say to Deanna since we have her on right now? I don't want to let her go yet.
Listen, I would just encourage you to continue to use your voice, continue to speak for change. I want to let you know that it's not going to be easy. And the more that you speak up, the less people will want to be associated with you because they're going to feel like, it's a
Hmm.
target on them now, or who do you think you are? But again, the way that you can articulate your words and the way that you can speak to points, you're not wrong. You know what I mean? Everything
Hmm.
that you had to say was valid. People, like I said to you, people need to be listening to you. They need to be answering some of the questions that you are asking, or at least putting you in a position to where you can get some type of guidance. Also, I remember you saying like you don't feel safe walking to and from school, so we need to make sure that we are addressing that as well. It's probably not a conversation to have on Facebook Live with
Hmm.
everybody. That is something that we need to be discussing a little bit further. I was kind of brainstorming some things with a few friends of mine as far as like how we can assist with that as well, because you definitely shouldn't have to feel like that. And I'm pretty sure the things that you had to say, you're not the only person who felt that way. So although you may have felt like you were the youngest person in the room and you were only the young person speaking, you spoke for a large amount of people who don't have the courage to do so. And if I were you, I would encourage my friends to come down there and do the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they just want to do it for the social media likes, or you know what I mean, because like Craig said, you 70,000 views is a lot. You know what I mean? So that's something somebody can wear a T-shirt on with their logo. They can come down there and speak up and let people know,
Yep.
how you feel. Let people come down there, and again, it doesn't necessarily have to specifically be justice for cello for
Hmm.
people to speak at those meetings. So you have the right to go to a school board meeting and speak. You have a right to go to a city council meeting and speak. You have a right to go to a county council meeting and speak. And there are other boards and authorities that have open forum meeting. I would encourage you to continue to use your voice, continue to exercise your voice, because then it's also going to help you build your reputation. It's also going to help you build your resume. It's going to help you put your face out there. So when it's time for you to go to college, or when it's time for you to go to military, and you need those letters of recommendation, there are going to be people who are going to be advocating for you all over the place. So again, don't get discouraged, especially if the change that you're looking for doesn't happen today. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, don't ever give up. Don't ever lose your voice, and just keep striving for the best. Keep striving for excellence, and good things will come your way.
Thank you.
Also, Dion, I want to say this too, just to kind of piggyback on what Deontay is saying as well, is that um, you spoke about change. That was the
Hmm.
main thing that you spoke about was change. Do you realize that you are leading by example at 16 for change. What I mean by that is we've been grinding at this for 81 days for Justice for Cello. 81 days.
Mhm.
And we have a high school student, 16 years old, that comes to city council for the first time and speaks so well and eloquently like you did. You're leading by example, and you could be the leader of other 16 and 15-year-old students that have an opinion and that might not feel safe as well. You may have given people the courage to come up and speak their mind. And, we've been doing that as adults for quite some time, but you're the epitome of change because you hit a different demographic age group with the young folks. And I think you should continue to run with that. And anything that you need, we got your back on that. I have a question though. I do want to know, how can city officials make you feel safer?
Honestly, I feel like with everything going on, I just
Mhm.
feel like they can be there for us more.
Yeah.
Um, I know they have like the PALS program and everything, but I feel like with the teenage community and people and teenagers who are not associated with PALS, they
Hmm.
could try to go out more and try to hold events with the officers and with other higher officials to try to get the teens to know them more. Because I know, like, coming from where I am pretty educated and I do know a lot about that type of stuff because I was looking into going into it for a while, but I know other teenagers my age don't really know that. And they also have an assumption that like police are bad and everything. So I feel like maybe if they just tried to connect with our community more and just overall connecting with our community more and trying to build a connection with us would really help.
I want you to stay active, stay present, stay relevant, stay vocal because you're on the right path, my dear. Deontay and I, we are accepting you as our niece. I am Uncle Craig. He's Uncle Deontay, and we got your back. We really, really love you. We appreciate you. Those 70,000 views from your interview that you did at the protest, I have a feeling is going to increase immensely after this podcast is broadcast. I think a lot of people are going to want to go back and listen to what you had to say to Philip Ward, and also look at the video from last week as to what you said to our elected officials. Deontay, in closing with Deanna, any parting words for her?
You are an amazing young woman. I'm proud of you. I'm happy to have connected with you. I'm glad that your name is Deanna. It's very close to my name as well. So that's a great thing as well. But again, like, I appreciate you. Thank you for everything. Um, as long as you're willing to come join us, we would more than welcome to have you there. Whenever you want to
Yes,
speak, please speak. I got your back no matter what until we get to the end of this thing. So thank you again. I appreciate you.
yes, yes, yes. What would you like to say, ma'am, before you leave?
um, First of all, I want to thank Mr. Taiwan Taylor, Mr. T. Meeting him and getting to know him, we've really built a father daughter connection. I'd like to say, and he's taken me in like his daughter, and he's really helping me find my voice and speak out. So I feel like without him I wouldn't have been able to speak out and how elegantly. I also want to talk about how I also feel like a lot of people my age are scared to speak out is because of the hate and the way older people react. I know in the Facebook a lot of older people were saying I don't deserve to be a leader. They hope they don't see me in a leadership position. And
Hmm.
I simply just think it's because of a stereotype that we are only this type of person and we cannot carry a leadership role. And I really just want to prove to them that like not all of us are like that. There is a majority that is like that, but there's also a majority who really does care for their community and who really does want to work hard to try to repurpose their community and make it even better than what it already is.
That's so awesome. I just I thank you so much for joining us tonight. We can just really appreciate everything that you said, your whole attitude about things, the support that you're giving our family, because that was also Deontay's cousin as well. That was our cousin that passed, and you guys supporting our family. We really appreciate that. But you have definitely set the bar for many, and we expect some big things from you in the future, and we're excited to see where you're going to land. And your mother told me that you're trying to plan a fun run for a lot of the kids in the neighborhood and some of the students and stuff. And I would be honored to try to help you put that together. You know, I've run a nonprofit organization for almost 8 years now, and she asked me for some assistance for you. So use me as a resource. I'm here for you. Okay, my dear?
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you pretty soon. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Absolutely. All right. D, man, she's fantastic, man. Wow, she's fantastic. We need more individuals her age stepping up to the plate and speaking their mind. Like she has a plan. She has future goals. Um, she just really touched my heart, man. She really did.
Listen, man, she had a plan. She had multiple plans. She had a
Yeah,
backup plan for her backup plan for her backup plan. Like that young lady's amazing, man. Like the
yeah,
way she speaks her words, and the way she articulates those words.
yeah.
No, excuse me, no teleprompter, no script. I wanted to ask her what books was she reading, who's her mentor, what's guiding her, what's leading her, because like, yeah, she did amazing, man. So kudos to
Yeah,
her, kudos to her family. Kudos to Mr. T. You know, shout out to him. I know he's been real heavy into pouring into the young people. So
yeah,
I'm glad to see like some of the young people he's working with step into that adult realm, or that
yeah.
adult level, to kind of show what they've been working on and what they've been working towards. But yeah, man, I could go on and on about just how much I appreciate her presence, her words, her courage,
Yeah.
her ability to speak and not be afraid to. Because again, like this is something that like everybody doesn't agree with the things that we talking about. Everybody doesn't
Right.
agree with us asking or seeking justice for cello. They don't agree with us being persistent. They don't agree with us being consistent within this process. And there have been adult people who, kind of steered away from it. And
Hmm.
here you have a young lady, 16 years old, who's able to identify her problems, identify where she's going to school at, some of the things that she's working on, and then speak her concerns to the people who are making decisions for us. So like, man, that right there should motivate more people to want to come speak up and inform their children of what's going on as well. Because like, I don't know, man. I don't We've been through this since day one. So
Yeah.
it's like preaching to the choir to say some of the stuff to you. But after hearing what she had to say,
Yeah.
and then like her hearing what she had, they said she been at all the protests. You
Yeah.
know, they say Michael. I talked to Michael. Me and Michael talked on the phone today, yesterday,
Hmm.
and he was telling me, he gave her the bullhorn one time, and she did her thing. So like, I didn't get to experience those conversations or those speeches, but when I heard her speak at the meeting,
Yeah.
wow! And then I seen the interview on the news, wow! And then the
Yeah.
follow up today is just kind of like, man, what can't this young lady do?
She can do anything she wants to do. She can do anything she want to put her mind to, and I believe she will. She has a really good support system. I've talked back and forth with her mother, Alicia Spears, and she's a great woman, and she is raising her right. She is raising her right. I mean, for her to be that active in all of those different sports and marching band and and I know her grades are good because she's also in college right now, and she's going to graduate with a 2 year degree when she's done. Like, it's just incredible. We need more people like her. And here's the thing: there are more students like her. They're just not speaking up, and she
Right.
could be the one as the leader to pull them out of their shell. Hey, man, I'll speak in front of anybody at any time because that's in my DNA. I don't write anything down. I've never written a speech in my life. Been on TV, been running the podcast. We're on episode 34, unscripted, you know. But at 16, I had the guts to come up and say something, but I never did. She had the guts to do it, and she did it. And I gotta give her props for that. You know what I mean? Because you never know where she's gonna go in life, but she is really just developing into a overall great young lady that could walk down different paths for her career. And man, we need more people like her. I'm gonna tell you what,
Absolutely,
incredible, man. And so
absolutely.
it made now that this is like pulling the band-aid off for her going up to speak, because now we got another meeting coming up, and I
Absolutely.
would imagine that she's gonna be there, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I hope that she would show up. You know what I mean? We can't force her to. We can only encourage her to show up. The way she
Yeah.
handled herself there, like if I had to say so in the matter, I would appreciate to see that young lady at every meeting that I'm gonna be at speaking, or
Yes.
even if even if it's just for him, she needs to be present. And then people need to know who she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like when we talk about resources for our community, right? And
Yep.
when you have a young person who can articulate their words like that, and then talk about some of her goals and her dreams, her aspirations,
Hmm.
and then the way that she can come up there and represent herself. Like there should be people within our community who's making sure that when it comes to her education,
Hmm.
that she doesn't have any issues or any concerns. If it's scholarships, if it's grants, if it's any funding to make sure that that young lady is able to access whatever she needs to access to accomplish her goals and her dreams. There need to be people who are in positions of power and people who serve on boards or who are part of organizations to make sure that that young lady does not slip through the cracks and that she is taken care of and that somebody is advocating for her and making sure that she has all of the, not some of the resources, every single resource that she needs in order for her to succeed. If that's transportation, if that's
Yeah.
book money, if that's scholarship, whatever the case may be. And I know that there are organizations within the community that has all of those resources. So after she put herself out there,
Yeah.
nobody who lives in the Erie community should be sitting back and watching this young lady not thrive or not push forth to excellence. And if
Hmm.
she is having any concerns or if she's having any issues, she clearly has no problem using her voice. She needs
Right.
to use her voice and say, "Hey, these are some of the things that I need so I can succeed. If it's I'm going to the community college and I got to buy these books,
Yep.
she needs those books. If it's transportation, she needs transportation because at this point, when you have young people like that, especially a young woman who's willing to speak up, who's willing to be courageous, like you have to protect her. And protect her does not just mean make sure that nobody harms her. Protect her means make sure that she has every single thing that she needs in order for her to be successful because she has a plan, she has a good head on her shoulders, and she's not afraid to put herself out there.
Yeah. Deanna Chatfield, ladies and gentlemen. Deanna Chatfield, please know the name, know the face, know that she is going to be someone special because she already is. We need you all to protect her and take care of her and make sure that she will want for naught. Okay. What a great young woman. And I hope to see her continue to thrive um, and join the Justice for Cello Coalition at these city council meetings and these county council meetings, and maybe she'll step up and go to a school board meeting. And speaking
I want to
of,
see her. I want to
yeah,
see her go to a school board meeting. I just want to
yes,
come and just watch her work. You know what I mean? Because she goes to the area public schools, and they
yes,
have their meetings as well. I would love to just sit in the room. Like I don't. I've spoke at those meetings as well.
yeah,
But I would love to just hear her go to a school board meeting and express her concerns to the school district, the school board, the panel, as well as the
hmm,
superintendent, and just see what they have to say to her,
yeah,
and then see if maybe they'll reconsider her being a part of that new young council that they have for young people. Because
hmm,
I, not to discredit any child, I
right,
haven't heard any other child speak up. You know what I mean? To speak towards any of the candidates, but I do
hmm.
believe that maybe they should reconsider and add that young lady to whatever that program is that they've developed for young people.
I agree. I love the fact that all of these other students made that particular program and they're involved, but I highly doubt that they have 70,000 views on an interview. She has really made an impression on the 814, and we got to keep her going and keep her name alive and keep her name being known out there because she's going to do some big things. And The good thing for us is she's just a phone call away. So her and Alicia, we appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for your time. Uh, Deontay, County Council meeting Tuesday, 6 p.m. Am I right?
Wednesday, County Council is 6:30.
Six
Hold on, let
thirty.
me check. I got it. I got the agenda. Oh no, 6 p.m. Yeah, no,
6
5 p.m.
p.m.
caucus meeting, six
Okay.
p.m. council meeting.
And it's you said Wednesday or Tuesday?
No, no, no. Let me look. Tuesday, September
Tuesday.
23rd.
It's Tuesday. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
5 p.m. is the caucus meeting. 6 p.m. is the council meeting.
I want to read something really quick. If you can give me a second here. Um, we, as a part of the Justice for Cello Coalition community, have drafted a resolution that is going to be presented to the Erie County Council on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. It reads Resolution number 41, 2025, a resolution of Erie County Council regarding the unarmed shooting of Marcello Woodard. Whereas Erie County Council recognizes with deep sorrow the tragic events surrounding the death of Mr. Marcello Woodard, who was unarmed at the time of the incident, and whereas this incident has brought great pain to Mr. Woodard's family, friends, and the Erie community as a whole, and has raised urgent questions about accountability, transparency, and the use of lethal force. And whereas Erie County Council believes that public confidence in our justice and probation systems requires full transparency and fairness when such incidents occur. And whereas the residents of Erie County deserve assurance that county level policies, including those guiding probation officers and related personnel, reflect best practices, prioritize de escalation, and protect both public safety and the sanctity of human life. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the County Council of Erie County, Pennsylvania, that number one, Erie County Council formally acknowledges the tragic circumstances of the death of Marcello Woodard and extends its condolences to his family and loved ones. Number two, Erie County Council calls for a swift, thorough, and transparent investigation into this incident by the appropriate authorities, ensuring that the facts are established and accountability is upheld. Number three, Erie County Council commits to a comprehensive review of all Erie County probation department policies and procedures related to the use of force. Number four, if existing policies are found to be inadequate, Erie County Council shall take all necessary steps to update or rewrite those procedures with the goal of ensuring that probation practice align with best standards, emphasize de-escalation, and limit the use of lethal force to the narrowest of circumstances. Number five, pass funding and secure immediate procurement of body cameras for all Erie County parole and probation officers operating within county borders while ensuring all agents are properly trained and updated on certification as per state, county, and municipal guidelines. We pray that, and this will be read on Tuesday night by us as well. We pray that the Erie County Council will adopt this resolution for us. Hearing that, I think we've hit everything on the mark. Um, how do you think that's going to go?
Honestly, I don't think that they're gonna pay that no attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna pay that no attention. Honestly feel like they think like we come in there with demands and they don't have to adhere to or meet our demands, and now they playing again, like I said before, Robert's rules of order.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that they really see the impact in what those asks are. Now that's just my own personal opinion.
Right.
I mean, because again, we are on what day is this now? 70,
Day
81?
81. Day
81. We're on day
81.
81, you know what I mean? And we're asking for things that should have taken place on day 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean, at this point. And then now it's just, county probate, like it's a state thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they feel, from conversations that I've had, they think that we expecting them to write law or change law, and that's not the case. I've never asked anybody to write or change law. We've asked for some type of acknowledgement, some type of recognition, and some type of conversation so that we can know the expectations of us, our rights, or whatever the case may be. And then even access to resources and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said at the last meeting, The county executive had reached out to me, and asked me if I wanted a board appointment for the Erie
Yes.
County Housing Authority.
Hmm.
I accepted that. And he said, it'll be on the agenda. So I'm looking over the agenda now, and I'm seeing that Chris Drexel has appointed one, two, three different people. One to the Erie County Planning Commission,
Okay.
one to the Erie County DEI Commission, and somebody to the Erie County Library Advisory Board, partial term. So, like, when you see that, when I see stuff like that,
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, what is Jim Wynorski doing. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, I've had phone calls from Rock. I've had phone calls from Chris Drexel. Of course, we all know we've talked to Andre Horton.
Hmm.
But when we went to the first county council meeting, we called out Jim Wynorski. This took place in his district.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if he's trying to figure out, if he's reached out to some of his constituents in his district who are hurting from this situation. Maybe even trying to figure out, okay, who are some people who I can appoint to certain boards that I have the authority to do, so that way they can have some influence and some impact on their community, so that they can be entered into those rooms and have that information and have that education, those resources to pass back out to other people. So, it's everybody's trying to figure out what they can do, but we have not heard anything from Jim Wynorski. We have seen Jim Wynorski's face. I don't believe he was at the last county council meeting. He wasn't present. I'm not 100% sure, but
Hmm.
this is his district. You know what I
Right.
mean? And the county council is broken down in the districts. He has yet to say, to my knowledge, hey guys, sending my condolences. Here's some things that I can do to help. Who do I need to be talking to? Or even like, and we talked about getting people registered to vote. Like,
Hmm.
I believe that because he's such a shoe-in, he doesn't have to run a voter registration drive. I think he would prefer people didn't register to vote, because when people did register to vote, all of his friends who usually keep him in his office, there will
Hmm.
be more, because it's a district thing. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? So in the district, he lives in one of the districts where the majority of the people vote, and they're going to vote for him. And the majority of us, are in that district. So I'm just curious to know, like, what is he doing? Who is he pulling up? What role is he playing? Has he reached out to anybody to see any to offer any suggestions? And then on top of that, how is the county council and the city council? How are our elected officials working together to solve problems? Or is it like what I mean? Are they still having a pissing match with, the Republicans, and having a pissing match with the county executive, to the point to where it's just like, who cares about what? They say, oh, we're overseeing the budget, or we're just looking at the budget. But again, what about us, man?
Yeah. I mean, you bring up some valid points and some valid questions, and questions that I have as well. I mean, I don't understand how people can run for an elected position. Um, they can say X, Y, and Z. I mean, this is politics, so I get all that. But they say X, Y, and Z, and then when X happens, you don't hear a thing from them. Not one thing, and it just blows my mind that, like you said, the condolences to the family. That's the easy part, right? I mean, like, why the hush hush? Why the silence? Why the incognito? I don't understand why you wouldn't be the first one to reach out and say, "Hey, listen, guys, I just want to pass on my condolences for what has occurred. You have my support. You have my respect." I mean, something like that. Those words go a long way, and the fact that those words have not been said, that goes a long way too. You know what I mean? Like, when, and you know more about politics than I do, but you ran for city council, but when these people, when they run and say certain things, and then they get in there and then they don't do the certain things that they said, like, what does that mean? And is it because, like you said, he's comfortable and he doesn't need to run a voting drive, right?
Absolutely. I mean, when you think about, well, just specifically the county council, is broken them into districts.
Yeah.
So district, I believe, is 4.
Mm-hmm.
District 4, district. It's all up here in this area. Like, those are pretty much the people who vote, who typically register to vote, who typically will vote. So you know what I mean? It's kind of like, if I've been doing this for quite some time, I know who the people are, I know who my friends are. These are the only people that I have to appease to. So that's when the you people or the those people come in and play, because it's like, oh well, those people were upset, but those people don't vote, or
Hmm.
those people weren't registered to vote. But again, it happened in your district, so even the people who are advocating for Jim Wynorski, they should have questions. They should be curious to say, hey, who are some of your appointments? Do you know any of these people who are calling you out? And if you don't, why haven't you tried to figure out who some of these people are? Because they're saying your name loud and
Right.
clear, and you have yet to respond to them. And then another thing is, it's like we kind of got away from the whole Elizabeth Hurts thing, and I didn't think that was a good idea at all. And I know
Hmm.
why that happened. You know what I mean? When that whole meeting took place, it was kind of like she got the upper hand, but she doesn't work for one set of individuals. She works for the public. We have yet to see her face. Ever since the last public statement, I was sat in the room with her,
Hmm.
and I told her out of my own mouth, I told you this would happen. You and I were in a room together. Out of
Hmm.
all the people that's in this room, you and I were the only people. And I told you it was going to get ugly. It was going to turn just into this. You need to come forward. You need to start talking to us. You need to give us some regular updates. She said, I don't really do social media, but do you think that'll help? I said, yes, it will make people feel connected to you. It will make
Right.
people feel like you actually care. She said she stays off of social media because she doesn't want to get in the mix of things. She's not really sure how to address or handle the public because of her style. And I told her it is dividing the community. People are upset. Then people are having these allegations that her and the alleged shooter are friends and they're connected. And that was the last conversation that I had with her
Yeah.
in a room setting. But since then, you have not heard anybody. I seen somebody post something today about her, but you have not heard anybody say Elizabeth Hurt's name or put any pressure on her. And it's about to be election time, and Jeremy Lightner is about to be hosting his events and all of that. So, you know what I mean? It's to the
Yeah.
point now where when we talk about the elected officials, like who's really helped. And I see Shamel say, yeah, I will say that. Like Dr. Tyler Titus has
Hmm.
been the most vocal in the capacity that they can be in,
Hmm.
the most supportive, the most influential, and that's from the people who are elected. Now there are people who are running who I've been in contact with. Daria, I have me and Daria probably check in once a month. You know what I mean? Just we send messages back and forth regularly, but her and I have conversations just so she can just kind of get a feel for what's going on and what the plan is moving forward. But as far
Hmm.
as the people who are elected, Dr. Tyler Titus, I believe they put it all on the line for us at the first meeting to continue to move forward. I've sent them text messages. Thank you for everything. I appreciate your hard work.
Yeah.
I appreciate you standing up for us. But to back to the county council thing, like, yeah, what's I don't understand why is it so difficult for them to speak to us. And I see Cindy was in the comments, and the finance meeting actually
Yeah.
said any statement would the more vague the better regarding county council saying anything. Yeah, so at this point they trying to spin us, man. But again, like, why won't
Yeah.
they speak to us?
Yeah, and you brought up a really good point. Your conversation last with Hertz, with her saying that she doesn't do social media that much. She doesn't like to get in front of the press. Like, this is your job, is to notify the community. I don't agree with that. This is your job. There's people out here that want to know what is going on. This is day 88, and the last statement we had was weeks ago, and it was like, that kind of gave her a pass to kind of be silent again for another month. I mean, we're about to go in 9 days. We're going to be 3 months out, and there's been two statements that have been out. And I don't get in front of a camera and say something. Come out to the family and say something to the family. Like, what I really don't believe that an investigation should take this long. And we have seen other examples in other deaths in the state of Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Philly. There's been things that have occurred where it's been expedited and they have an arrest at least. You know, um, I don't understand why this is taking so long, man. We're on day 88 and this is just ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. You said 80. I thought it was 81.
81,
Okay.
yeah, 81 days. What did I
88.
say? What did I just say? 88,
Yeah,
81
yeah.
days.
So
81
like
days.
again, like I'm curious to know like where did all of that go? Again, even if the update is like, okay, we're working on some information, we're getting close to a decision, or we're weeks or months away from a decision. It's more or less like show your face, let us know that you're
Yes.
still working for us, because the police officer who was just in an incident, he's on some type of administrative leave. You had to oversee that. There was a stabbing in the park. You know what I mean? And I'm not
Yeah.
saying she oversees everything, but it comes out of her office. So it's like, why won't you talk to us? And why do they think that this is something that's going to go away as
Hmm.
long as they not talking to us? Like, it's people who aren't going anywhere, man. It's people who are going to continue to be
No.
screaming justice for Cello on social media, county council meetings. Um, they're having a march next Saturday, and
Hmm.
again, they got that thing on bill. I was at church today. They
Yeah.
called Michael up to the pulpit to explain to the congregation,
Hmm.
what's the game plan here? Give us some information. Him and somebody was passing out flyers. He said he'd been to the Catholic churches, the Muslim churches, the Hispanic churches. So,
Hmm.
like, and then you got the young lady, who's coming to speak up now, and you know what I mean. She's going to encourage some of her friends. So it's we're not going anywhere. So it's probably in their best interest to just kind of figure out how we can work together. It's not us against them. It's supposed to be all of us working together.
Right.
And it seems as though at this point they want us to get upset or get frustrated to where it turns into a us versus them thing, when we're just letting them know, yo, y'all work for us. And like,
Right.
we didn't hire y'all asked to work for us.
Yep.
So it's not like we're abusing power or we're abusing authority and being like, hey, I'm your supervisor, do what I say. It's more or less like, yo, remember that time when you asked for them votes?
Hmm.
Remember that time when you gave that speech? And remember that time you said you was gonna do all them things?
Right.
Now it's time for you to hold up your end of the deal. And it's just kind of like emergency situation. Like, security guards or police officers, they say, we don't pay you for what you do, we pay you for what could happen.
Hmm.
So when it's time to get into the mix of things, now all the glory is gone and it's time to get in the mud. Like, y'all ain't willing to get in the mud, which shows that y'all just ran to be popular. Y'all just ran for those check marks on the resume. Y'all
Right.
just ran to be relevant to somebody's life or to live a childhood dream or whatever the case may be. When it comes to serving the people, clearly that's not why y'all ran, man.
Right. That's true. You know, last week we ran a voter registration drive, and we had some pretty good success, man. I heard from a lot of people, even when we went on our last episode. A lot of people were putting in comments about how many people that they actually got to register for vote, and that is what is going to help change down the line. So, can you give me the rundown again? When is the deadline for registering to vote? And then, of course, just to bring this back up again, now that we're kind of wrapping up the registration for voters, we want to try to put together this town hall meeting, man. I mean, that's going to be key. Can you imagine Deanna Chatfield speaking at the town hall meeting too? Man.
Listen, man, I can imagine her being the one asking a question. And then as I heard her, I think that she was at one of those events earlier in the year. They had one,
Yeah.
Erie County United. They partnered up with Career and Dreams, and they had some young people ask some questions. I'm
Okay.
not sure if she was there or not, but
Okay.
yeah. But the voter registration, you have until October 20th to register to vote. And this
Okay.
is something too. This is what I will say. Like, for anybody who's watching this, elected officials or people who are running, like, if, and this is not for me to be divisive, because again, I'm to the point now where I'm not picking party, I'm picking people.
Yeah.
But if people who are running Democrats want to keep the Democratic vote and they want to keep people registered as Democrats, then they need to work harder. The reason why I say that is because the Republicans are sending me messages, they're sending me reels, videos. I'm about to sit down and have a meeting with Kim Hunter, just to have a conversation with her. She's one of the people who's running for city council on the Republican ticket. But they
Hmm.
are looking at this as an opportunity to. They've been saying, okay, let's flip things red. And when you now are saying we're going to sit down and we're going to listen to people, and we're not just going to pick the party that we normally picked, or we're not just voting for people because of their color, it gives people an opportunity to speak to more people who are hurting, who have felt as though they've been ignored or been neglected. So
Yeah.
I would encourage anybody who's running for a seat to do some voter registration stuff, because we are heavily pushing people register to vote. And there are a lot of people who are saying they're going to register to vote who have never registered before. So there's a lot of people who are going to be uneducated on the voter process or even the candidates, and it's going to be people just checking boxes. So this is going to give anybody the opportunity who is running to put themselves out there, to give their spiel, to have those conversations, to tell why people should be voting for them. And it should be some people who are in close races or who are going to be in some tight races. It should be making them nervous right now because there are people who are voting solely because they want justice for Cello. So
Yeah.
there are going to be an increase in voters. There are going to be an increase in registrations, and people need to be educating them on who they should or should not be voting for.
I'm looking in the comments here. Jennifer Smith Edwards registered. First time ever for local voting polls. Jennifer, thank you
Thank you.
so much. Thank you so much. Now, Jennifer, I'm going to challenge you. Go out and get 5 more people and get them registered as well. That's what we want to do. We want to push this out to a number of different people and try to bring some people along when you get registered, have them register as well because there's power in numbers, and that's what's going to affect change down the line. Meeting coming up Tuesday. Deontay, you got anything? I know you like to hold off, and surprises, man, and then bam, DC done came out. You got anything that you are
But
working on
no,
to talk about?
I mean honestly,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my research on it because again, it's happening in Jim's district. You
yeah,
know, I live in Jim's district, so I'm gonna be doing some research as far as like what he's been doing. What
okay,
are some of the reasons he's running on? What are some of the reasons he's running for? We're gonna be educating the people on what he's doing, what he's not doing, who he's for, who he's not for.
yeah,
And then again, we're going to continue to push that. We want that conversation. And they're like, oh, they don't like the name town hall. Whatever we got to call it to get a panel discussion or whatever the
a
case may be,
forum, whatever.
we
Yeah.
right. We want to be able to have a conversation with our elected officials, the
Mhm.
people who make decisions for us, and we want it to be dialogue. I don't want to talk and y'all listen, and then the meeting's over. And that's something else. Somebody reached out to me and was like, "Yo, they sent out a message. They want to know if y'all can stay after the meeting because they got something that they want to say to y'all, and it might be in y'all favor." Like, no,
Yeah.
we not gonna wait and wait, and we've been waiting. It's 81 days. We've been waiting.
81 days.
No,
Yep.
meet us where we are, like we meet y'all where y'all at. So
Yep.
again, I can't tell anybody to stay,
Mhm.
but I do know after they, and I don't know if I got to stay there while they vote for me to be on that committee or not, but I don't plan on it. But after they say
Mhm.
public, anybody else to speak from the public,
You out.
I'm out after that. And then, I mean, then they're gonna vote. So they vote on who's gonna be able to have these seats on these. And if they vote, it's a 4-3 vote. I mean, you need 4 votes to win. So
Right.
if I don't get it, it'll be public record as to why I didn't get it. And I honestly think like this was a chess move, but I love to play chess. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we all gonna play chess together. But what I do know is this is an opportunity for not me, but for us. You know what I mean? To be able to invite people into those rooms and to be able to have those conversations and let people know what's going on. And then I got a phone call for somebody else. Like, so I made a referral for somebody to be on the Erie Land Bank board as well because I know a seat is coming up for Christine Rush. She's leaving, so somebody asked for a recommendation. I recommended one of my friends,
Hmm.
somebody who I feel will be beneficial for the position as well. So again, when we say justice for Cello, and we
Yeah.
say it doesn't just mean an arrest, this is what we mean: opportunity for people who are going to help other people, resources that are going to help other people. And then, man, like listening to and reading this book, ain't no telling, man. I might come in there and drop some heat, bro.
Oh,
Man, I can't turn
I,
this thing off.
I can't wait. I know you've been reading, man. I know you've been reading.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been listening. I'm listening. I've had to write. So I'm listening, rewind, writing, rewind. I gotta get the hard copy of this thing, man, because
Yeah.
it's mind blowing. And the reason why it's mind blowing is because it tells me about myself,
Yeah.
as far as what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. It tells me about the life that I've been living and the people I've been looking up to, how systems work,
Hmm.
indoctrination. Like, yeah, it's crazy. I ain't gonna turn this into a whole Farrakhan thing or nothing like that. But it's definitely enlightening,
Yeah.
and it's helping me see things more clear and learning how to associate myself with people that help us build together. I'm a firm believer in servant leadership. I believe that in order to lead, you have to serve the people that you are leading first. And this information is coming from this book. I'm getting information coming from the Bible,
Hmm.
similarly to that, getting information from my Simon Sinek books that I'm reading. So it's to the point now to where like I feel like servant leadership is going to be the way out, and we gotta empower and build people, and we gotta help them see what they're good at, so we can push them in the right direction.
Right. Parting words for those to stay focused on keeping the main thing, which is justice for Cello.
Listen, I'm glad that you asked that, right? So
Yeah.
because like I said, me and Michael, we had a phone. Me and Michael, we had a talk on the phone the other day. We
Hmm.
talked for I don't know how long it was, but the conversation that him and I had, it was very needed. It was in depth, and we was literally just talking about keeping the main thing, and letting it be the mission be justice for Cello. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? As many people as we can have making noise to see justice for Cello. By all means, let's do that. However many actions that we can do to make sure that we keep the message alive, because what we don't want to do is look divided. You know what I mean? What we
Correct.
don't want to do is look like we at one another, or it's a popularity contest or things like that. And I
Right.
know some people outside looking in have been watching and seeing that type of stuff, and I steer clear away from that. I stay focused on justice for Cello. But what I will say is, we know it's not easy. You know what I mean?
Right.
We know that now people are getting tired of it. Some people are going astray, but there's a core group of individuals who have been fighting the fight. There's a core group of individuals who have been showing up. There's a core group of individuals who have continued to do whatever is needed. So I want to let everybody know who's been fighting from day one. I love you all. For everybody who's on the sidelines fighting, I love you all. There are people who aren't frontline. There are people who aren't putting their face on the line, who are doing work. There are people who are doing work behind the scenes, sending information, sending prayers, helping kids and stuff like that. So again, it's not about who's in the forefront, who's doing the work. We just want everybody to keep the energy moving forward as far as us seeking justice for Cello. Don't give up. You know what I mean? Even when times get hard, find you some things that you can do that's going to help you get through those battles or get through whatever struggles you're going through. I mean, and if you need a break from it, hey man, let somebody know it's time to tap out. Like, when you
Yeah.
got people like Michael who's willing to go above and beyond, it's okay for some of us to be like, you know what, we're gonna let Michael have that day. And when you got the county council meeting, if I'm down there speaking, or a city council meeting, and somebody feel like, hey man, today's not a day for me, like, that's okay.
Yep.
We just need to make sure that we are supporting one another throughout this fight, and we make sure that the message never dies, no matter how tired we get as individuals.
Hmm.
As a whole, as a collective, we need to continue to push forward and seek justice for Marcello Woodard. That is my biggest concern with anything that we've been doing and anything that we're going to continue to do moving forward.
Yep. And I agree with you 100%, man. I really just believe that we all need to keep the main thing, and doing that is fighting for justice for Cello. You know what I mean? You got to do the thing, you got to do the right things, you got to do it the right way, and you just have to touch people, affect people, get more people to push justice for Cello. Put the hashtag out there, hashtag justice for Cello. We want to find answers. It's been 81 days, and we still don't have any answers. And just keep in mind that the family is still hurting. The family is still hurting, and poor Shamel as well. You know, it's been a great show. Deontay, I appreciate you joining me tonight. And Deanna was the star of the show again, man. She just
Yes.
continues to be a bright light, man. And I can definitely appreciate that. And we will definitely have her back on and make sure that we watch her and her career. And we haven't heard the last from her. I know I saw in the comments there, Mom said that, the meeting is on Tuesday at 6 p.m. I think she's going to be at band practice. So she
That's all
might
right.
not, yeah, she might not be able to be there, but I'm sure we'll hold it down for her. You know what I'm saying? She'll be at the one after that. So appreciate everyone listening to us tonight. This has been episode 34 of Etcetera with the Woodards. For Deontay Cooley, I'm Craig Woodard Sr. Thank you and good night.